Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Yangyang, as you all know, she is placed very low in tier lists, but she is a lot better than you think, and no one believes in tier lists anyways. I will explain why she is good later in this video. Let's first start with the guide. Starting with her kit. On using her elemental skill, she creates a vortex that can gather enemies. The crowd control is not that great, but it deals some nice damage and gives one Forte circuit stack. She gets Forte circuit stacks from her 4th basic attack, resonance skill, intro skill, and heavy attack, Zephyr Song. To do this heavy attack, you need to use a basic attack after doing the heavy attack. That is, you will first hold the attack button, then tap it once. This attack can be done after a dodge counter as well. You will need to press the attack button twice after a perfect dodge. After you have 3 stacks, you can consume them by doing a mid-air attack or by doing the heavy attack Zephyr Song. We will only use the mid-air attack to consume the stacks because it is faster and deals higher damage. This attack is considered as basic attack. Her Resonance Liberation creates a cyclone that provides crowd control. The crowd control is not as good as Jianshin's, but is quite decent. It also deals some nice damage. The energy cost is quite low, which is 100, and has a cooldown of 16 seconds. In her first inherent skill, Yangyang will recover 30 stamina after using the mid-air attack in possession of 3 4-day stacks. The second inherent skill increases her arrow damage by 8% for 8 seconds after casting her intro skill. And her outrow skill restores 20 resonance energy of the next character. This skill is quite good and makes her more flexible. As you saw in her kit, Yangyang doesn't provide any offensive buffs that increases damage. As a result, she is not a popular pick when building teams. However, she provides other utilities which makes her a good character to invest in. She provides crowd control, energy restoration, and if you have her S6, she can provide 20% attack buff too. She can be a better option for your team depending on your situation. For example, Jian. His best teammate is Mortefi, so it's an obvious choice to pick him while building your team. However, Jian is an energy-hungry DPS. If you don't meet his energy requirements and fail to get his liberation back on time, it will lead to huge DPS loss. So in situations where you have little to no energy regen on your Jian, pairing him with Yangyang would be a better option than Mortefi, as she will make his rotations smooth and ensure that he has his liberation back on time. Moving on to her talent priority, her Resonance Liberation takes the top priority, followed by her Resonance skill, then 4-day circuit, intro skill, and lastly her basic attacks. Liberation skill and 4-day circuit are the important ones. Moving on to her weapons, Yangyang can fill her Concerto energy bar quite easily if you follow the rotation that I'm going to mention soon. And she has no energy issues, so it is better to go with an offensive option to maximize her damage. Changli's signature weapon, Blazing Brilliance, and the standard banner weapon, Emerald of Genesis, are 2 of her best weapon options for damage. Blazing Brilliance provides a high amount of crit damage. Alongside this, it provides 12% attack and a stackable resonance skill damage buff. The Emerald of Genesis provides crit rate. It also provides energy regen, which is quite nice and can give up to 12% attack buff. Commando of Conviction is your next best option. It is a very consistent weapon, as you only need to do an intro skill to activate its attack buff. If you don't have this weapon, you can use the new gacha weapon, Endless Collapse. It provides resonance energy and an attack buff. Lunar Cutter is another amazing option as it provides a ton of attack stats. Craftable Weapon Sword 18 and Lumingloss can be used as attack stat sticks. Their passives are not useful on her, but they provide attack percent. For 3-star alternative, you can use the Sword of Night till you get the better options. Lastly, you can also go with Overture if you need the Concerto energy. There's one more weapon that you can use for making a unique build. If no one in your team is using the Rejuvenating Glow set, you can give Yangyang the Originite Type 2 sword. This will make it possible to use the Rejuvenating Glow set on Yangyang. Moving on to her Echoes. The only Echo you want to use on Yangyang is Moonlit Clouds set with the Impermanence Heron Echo skill. This will lower Yangyang's personal damage when compared to the Sierra Gale Echoe set. But the Moonlit set will buff the main DPS, leading to more overall team damage. For her Echoe stats, crit rate or damage on 4-cost Echoe, double arrow damage bonus on 3-cost Echoe, or a combination of 1 arrow damage and 1 attack percent, and attack percent on 1-cost Echoe. For substats, look for crit stats, attack percent, flat attack followed by liberation damage, followed by basic attack damage. Yangyang has very low energy cost, so she doesn't need energy regen, but having some from substats can be nice too. If you are using Yangyang only for crowd control, where she has very less field time and you want to spam her liberation on cooldown, you can choose to build energy regen on her, either from weapon or echoes. Moving on to her teams. Yangyang can fit into any team as a sub-DPS with Moonlit Cloud set. She is best paired with energy-hungry DPS characters to take benefit of her outrow skill. Jian, Yangyang, Verena, Shangli Yao, Yangyang, Baiji. These are some team examples. She can be also used only for the crowd control. So all in all, she is very flexible and can be used in any team. Moving on to her rotations. Right at the beginning, I cast her Resonance skill once to get the 4-day stack and get some Concerto energy. After that, switch to Sustain support and fill their Concerto energy. Then intro to Yangyang, this will give her 1 more 4-day stack. Use her Liberation. Then do the heavy attack Zephyr song. Use a mid-air attack to consume all the stacks. Use her Resonance skill again to fill the Concerto energy bar. Use the Impermanence Heron Echo skill and swap cancel it by switching to your main DPS. And that's it. After you are done with your main DPS, switch back to Yangyang to use her Resonance skill and repeat. If you are in a danger while casting the mid-air attack, you can swap cancel that attack by switching to a different character. Now let's quickly go over her sequences. Sequence 1 to 5 is personal buff to Yangyang. In her first sequence, casting her intro skill will give her 15% arrow damage bonus for 8 seconds. The second sequence gives her some energy. Hitting an enemy with heavy attack will give her 10 resonance energy, which can be triggered every 20 seconds. The third sequence increases her resonance skill damage by 40% and increases its pulling effect range by 33%. The S4 gives a 95% damage increase to her special mid-air attack, which can be casted in possession of 3 4-day stacks. The fifth sequence gives a 85% damage increase to her liberation, and the sixth sequence is her best one. It gives a team-wide 20% attack buff after casting her special mid-air attack. This makes her much better, as this lets her buff the damage of your team. And that's all for this video. I hope you guys found it helpful. Don't forget to like and share the video and subscribe for more Wuthering Waves content. Thanks for watching.